Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. Welcome to more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. Today I decided to finally head back to the Portsmouth Direct Line, get an intro to the basic class 444 that existed way back in the old days of Railworks. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the old class 444, and we're going to see how that train holds up today, needless to say. There's a lot of scenarios on here. By the way, don't worry about these RS Workshop. We'll talk about those later. There is something I'm testing with, and those who recognize what RAW Workshop is probably already have an idea what I'm doing, but we'll talk about that later. What we're doing today is the regular scenarios introduction to the class 444, and tomorrow I'm planning to do the join together scenario. I usually like to go scenarios in order, but since this is a part 1 and part 2, I kind of want to put them together, so I may do those. If not next week, at least I'll put them together on another weekend. I do want to do another class 66 scenario this coming midweek coming up here. So my plan is kind of set in stone. I'm just changing what I do each weekend now rather than staying with one route. So I'm going to have different things every weekend. A little more variety for you guys, I think. I think that's a good way to do this. So today, Portsmouth Direct Line, the old one, class 444. I am going to be doing Route 17 at some point. And I'm probably going to at some point work through some other scenarios here too. But I also want to look into this RS Workshop stuff and show you what this is about. I may have other content by other people in here as well, but I'm very interested to show you that stuff as well. So I kind of want to work towards that on at least one or more routes that it applies to. In any case, introduction today. Enough talk about things coming in the future. We're going to do the introduction. This is a 20-minute introduction. First time driving a class 444 multiple unit. The tutorial will show you the controls of the unit and how to use them with the HUD controls. Let's go. Introduction to the class 444. Welcome to Fratton Station on the Portsmouth Direct Line. Today you will be driving the Class 444 Desiro unit. You are about to perform your first drive of the line just before rush hour. I'm your mentor for this short shift and will happily point out areas of interest and give driving hints and tips. What's your name? Large pop-up windows with lots of information. Oh, that's the worst. Like this one, will pause your drive until you manually close it so that you can absorb everything at your own pace. Passengers are waiting here at Fratton to board the train. Oh, are ready? To do this, you should press the T key for them to board the train. We know that. While we wait for passengers, or whilst we wait for passengers rather, to board, please take a moment to look around the cab by holding the right mouse button and panning with the mouse. I know how that works. I will then explain the main controls of the Class 444 using the driver's interface so that we can get moving. Close this window and continue. I'm just going to go ahead and circumvent over to the heavy tab or heavy HUD because I have a feeling we're going to be using that. So let's open the doors. And is there a timetable? No, it's just tutorial. Needless to say, we're going to Portsmouth to South Sea, and that's all we're doing. So yeah, we're going to get all the basic introduction stuff here. I did hit T. Do I need to? I did push T. I did push T. The red lever is a combined throttle and brake which provides power to your locomotive. Currently it is set to negative value so that no power is being supplied and the brakes are on. The blue lever is the reverser. This determines your direction of travel. Currently it is set at 0%. Pushing this lever forward to 100% will set your direction of travel forward by pulling back to minus 100% puts you in reverse. To keep moving, wait until all passengers have boarded, if they can even get on the train right now, and we'll worry about that then. So I'm moving on. I'm going to Oh, there, finally! It took me 3 tries to get the boarding to work, and as soon as I hit the T to the 3rd time, it finally took the boarding interaction, but it also automatically started up the thank you. It also automatically started up the next alert. So we're following what we did to put it into reverse, into the forward position. We're going to go ahead and apply some throttle to get ourselves moving. You saw the jiggle in the cab there. And as you can see, we're in a pretty boring standard cab here. So we're going to just ignore the fact how boring and standard this looks and move forward. We're going to throw on mega power, 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 power. You see we have trains here, obviously. That's just a passing FGW. Good job! You are moving! On the driver's interface, you are shown your current speed and current maximum line speed. Try not to exceed the line speed as you will be penalized while driving career system scenarios. Well, we know how that works. Speed limit changes coming up are also shown on the track profile on the driver's interface. So ensure you have enough distance to brake. What if we don't see a speed interchange that we are required to follow? Is that fair? When you need to slow down, gently move the throttle back below the the dotted halfway line to apply the brakes. You will need to be at a complete stop at stations before the passenger boarding process can begin. On the track shortly before signals are yellow, AWS red. Well, yeah, we know how that works. If the signal is clear, you will hear a chime. Yeah, we know how that works. We're just going to skip the rest of that. This is kind of standard stuff here, you know? Before you get to the next signal, we know how the signals work. Goodbye. If you do not know how the signals work, and this is your... Oh, hold on. It looks like we will have to wait for a passing class 444 to depart from Portsmouth and Southsea before we can move. When this train has passed, you will see the signal change to allow 2 yellow lights, and you will be able to set off. That's a yellow right in front of us. Well, that's a nice alert, isn't it? Wow. Thank you for the short notice here. I didn't even see the signal because we were like right next to it at the start of the scenario. So that's very bad scenario timing. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up to the signal for a full stop. I probably could just pass this signal just for shiggles, but I'm not going to. Now this is how you stop. I'm going to show you how you stop a train properly for a signal here. Not like that one we saw at the start of the scenario, which I'm pretty sure I didn't see. We stop with a good view of the red so that we know what happens here. We are literally right in front of this signal. That is how you do a perfect stop. Let's see what this train is up ahead. A little busy up there. So, yeah, it looks like both trains up there were moving. So we're going to go ahead and just await our turn here. I'm surprised we don't have 2 signals here, because I thought that was 2 signals we were working with, not 1. But in any case, we're just waiting for this red to eventually turn to something else. Maybe. Oh, the line just changed for us. I think we are going to be cleared. You can see the station open up on the line in front of us. So it looks like the train here is the one we were waiting for to depart. It just has to pass a signal going the other direction. We are clear just like that. Double yellow we have, and we are off. So we're going to apply some throttle, this time only up to 25 miles per hour, which was probably faster than we should be going the first time if we knew there was a red signal coming. But it is still doable. We hit the brakes very nicely there. We are going into a terminal platform at Portsmouth and Southsea, and I don't think 25 applies the whole way, so I'm actually thinking I might need to bring this down to a 15. That double yellow you can see indicates that we do have our terminal point up ahead, where it's a double red, no pass, because there's no track, obviously. I don't trust this. I'm going down to 15. So we got our warning for this yellow signal. I think we're going to go to the right here. Maybe one more track. Yeah, the other one is a separate track, so I think we're as far over as we're going to go. We did not get the 15 I thought we were going to get, so I guess this is 25 the whole way in, which I thought was a 15, so this is news to me. Yes, I've departed from this platform before. I thought this was a 15. Hello, sir. So, give us a train mission where we drive 1 station stop. That's fantastic. You just want to know if I can run into a buffer, don't you? You just want me to run into a buffer. Is that all this is? But guess what? Your plan to have me run into the buffer has been foiled! Ha 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 ha. Excuse me. For I know how brakes work. You can trust me. I am good train driver. Take it down to a 0 and I will stop. There's a 0 and there's a stop. Do I open the doors? Yeah, I open the doors. We're going to pick up passengers. So, let's look at the tray as we finish. That seemed a little quick, didn't it? We should probably just go straight into the next scenario because join together is also a short scenario. I was hoping to have a decent sized tutorial, but this seems too short for a video. So it doesn't make sense to just stop here. We are going to pop into another scenario. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to go ahead and do the first half of that two-part scenario. That way I can do the other scenario on Saturday this week. And we got 3 scenarios out of the way instead of 2. So you have completed this scenario successfully. You may now use the other scenarios for the class 444. You may note, by the way, that the locked scenario mechanism is no longer in the game. That existed back then. It does not exist now. So we could have used any of those scenarios before this one if we so wanted to. Back then, you had to do this one first. In any case, let's just go into the next scenario. We are going to go, I think it's Route 17. So I'll see you in that scenario. Good morning, driver. Today you will be taking a 5-car class 444 to Portsmouth Harbour to form the 10-car service to London Waterloo via Guildford. You will need to couple up to 444007 currently in Portsmouth Harbour Platform 5. Your first task will be to take your train through the train wash. I think this is a continued tutorial, if you ask me, because this seems like a very, for a 20-minute scenario, we're going through the train wash. Yeah, this is a continued tutorial in a sense before you take the long drive in part 2, I think. Let's get in the cab, and let's go ahead and just set ourselves up here for this 3-mile-per-hour blazing journey through the train wash. That's just what you want to do, 3 miles per hour in the train wash. We can go up to 10 before we get to the train wash, so let's go ahead and just use a little bit of our power to enjoy some speed, or lack thereof. We'll make our way up to this train wash, and then we will go ahead and get ourselves nice and soapy. The brakes work oddly well on this train, so we're going to have lots of time to get this brake down for a reasonable 3-mile-per-hour train wash soaking. So we're going to put a little bit of brakes on right now just to start working this. .9, fantastic. When you're 3 miles per hour is your speed limit, you want to get that .9 in if you can, because it all counts. Oh, look, you can see the water up ahead. Ooh, nice and wet. Let's get a outside view of this, shall we? Oh, wait, we're going to get decapitated if we do that. That's not what we want to do. Let's keep our head in the cab for a moment. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Hello, sir. Who are you? Oh, you're going to London. Excellent. Very good. I have a shunt signal. I have another shunt signal. And you can see siding 1 listed up ahead. We are going via that, but it's not shown as a task. So that is one of those in-between tasks that is not shown in the destinations. Apparently that did exist back then, which I find interesting. So, because in Sherman Hill, I remember, we didn't actually, whoa, don't speed. I remember in Sherman Hill, we actually had a whole bunch of tasks that showed up that were not hidden like the siding 1 task is. So there's a siding 1 task that we just don't see on the list. Our go via is for Portsmouth and South Sea Platform 2. We're not actually going to be doing any actual passenger stop driving. We're just doing the starting procedure of getting the train hooked up, and then next time we're going to get to do the lovely drive along the route. Not sure how far that's going, but it's a 60-minute scenario, so it might be all the way to Woking. I don't know. Not 100% sure. I'm still a little nervous about trying to run the newer, fuller version of the route, the one that goes all the way to Waterloo. I know that the... oh, I can go 10 now. I know that the route has a huge quality upgrade in that case. Hello, sir. Yeah, you're going to Portsmouth Harbor as well, are you? Cool. So I know that one has a much fuller line, like twice as long at least, going by Wimbledon into downtown London. So there you go. Woo. So I am going to brave it at some point and try it, but since that route also has a 444, this was my introduction to the 444. So this will be the final train I have to actually introduce in some older form before we move into the fuller version of the route. At some point, I am going to play that fuller version of the route. I can say that now. I will be playing that route at some point. It's just a matter of when. And I also have concerns about the quality of my hardware, to say the very least. So now that we're away from the shunt signals, we're going to get our AWS ramps again. So we have a yellow heading into the siding 1 marker. We can go 25, by the way, so we're going to do that. Which is stupid because we have a yellow, so why would I do that? We have a 40 now, but again, that's stupid. Why would I do that? We're going to go to a 15 at Portsmouth and Southsea, which is the 15 I thought I had last scenario, but apparently we didn't. For now, I can go 25, so I'm going to take advantage of it. Except we have a red signal up ahead. We can't do that. So I'm bringing it down to at least 10 now, probably a little less than that. Yeah, this will work. Tabbing will not be allowed here. I'm fairly sure a tab will get us nowhere. Because once again, there's something going on up ahead we can't see. Way up there in that there platform. So what is very... Oh, we got a yellow now. I was about to say, what is very puzzling is that we have another signal and yet we have a red. So I guess the train was crossing the path into the platform. And now the train is in the platform and we now have our yellow to go to what will be another red signal while it makes it stop. So that's what I'm adjudicating to be the situation here. Normally I would go all the way to 15, but we know we have a red, so I'm just going to take our time. And peering ahead into the crystal ball up ahead, it is still red. So I'm now under 10 miles per hour as I respond to that AWS ramp. Dispatcher making the correct decisions. If you are an active passenger service, you have priority over the train move that we are. So once we actually start picking up passengers, we will get some priority ourselves. There's another train over there going to London Waterloo. I'm just maintaining 1 mile an hour right now. Turns out a light throttle doesn't do very much on a 1 in 67 uphill gradient. There's our yellow. Now we're just doing a go via, and we're going to be coupling to something in here apparently. So we're going to find out what's going on as we get up here. Please note that on approach to Portsmouth Harbor, platform 5, you'll need to request permission from the signaler to enter the platform in order to couple up to 444007. Okay. This is not a passenger stop. This is a go via. So we are going over a bridge over a road underneath. We're going to just continue along our merry way here because we know we're going to be coupling something up ahead. And it's in the platform. We got 3 signals, I believe, to that platform. The signal will change, or the path will eventually change to let us into our correct platform, but we're going to have to still request to pass. The signaler has to be aware that we are ready to move. Otherwise, the other trains would be getting priority. Of course, in a computerized simulation like this, that's not exactly how it's done, but I mean, there's no trains left in a computerized simulation at some point. You just sit there waiting at a signal, while the signaler is eternally waiting. Is he there yet? He should be responding by now. Is he there yet? Yeah, I am. Let me in. We're now at a 40-mile-per-hour speed limit, which is comical. I will go ahead and I will use this 20 briefly. There is a junction up ahead. That is the line that we are not allowed to go onto, because that is not our marked destination point. Mind you, yeah, it says Portsmouth Harbour 5 on the task, so I'm going to assume that Portsmouth Harbour 5 will light up when the path changes correctly for us, right? It's now a yellow signal. We did have a single yellow. Knowing it was a red, we now have a single yellow again. So I'm going to keep going at a speed somewhat close to our speed limit. The signal after this will be red. They are all very close together at this stage. We're half a mile from the end of the track here, whatever path we take. And now we know we have a likely red again. In fact, I can see it as a red. It makes me think maybe this is where the track change has to take place, meaning we have this red until the track changes. We might, there it is, all at the same time, just like I said. So we got our platform 3. We now have is that a double yellow or a single yellow? Single yellow. So the next platform is still, or the next signal is still red. So we're going to deal with that presently. We're on a 1 in 91 downhill gradient, so this train now wants to speed up as we go into Portsmouth Harbour, so we're going to prevent that. This is supposedly our red signal. I can affirm that it is our red signal. I think the track change point is actually before these signals. So the track splits and then you have a signal on each track. Looks like we're taking the one on the far left. That is platform 5. Oh, now I remember. This is the red signal we have to tab past. So we have now been approved. We have our shunt signal, as you can see. We're gaining speed on the downhill again, so that's fantastic. And this gradient that we were on is still giving us lots of speed. So we're going to cut our speed here. We're on flat ground now, but the back of the train is still on the gradient. Will still show as gaining speed temporarily until it is fully off. Once we're fully in the platform, we should be off of the gradient completely. And I think these cars are back far enough to allow us to drive in to complete our train. So I am zoomed in right now, as you can see. I'm going to leave it on 2 miles per hour temporarily as I zoom back out. Let's put a little more slowing and speed down. And let's do a safe connection here without ramming something off the track here. Connecting to 444007, the job is done. Now you have coupled up to 44400. You forgot the 7. The train is ready to pick up passengers for the peak service to London. Your part in this scenario is over. We pick up on the next scenario, ladies and gentlemen. So I guess we're going to do Route 17 Part 2 tomorrow. That looks like a 60-minute scenario. So I got a nice long drive coming up for you tomorrow. These are some warm-up scenarios for the 444. We did the training, and then we did the first half of Route 17. Part 2 is tomorrow. See you for that. I'm Cyclone. Make sure you have a wonderful day, evening, afternoon, whatever it is for your part of the world. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. You know when I post. Sometimes it's not always when I want to, so the notification will tell you when I have something ready to go. And with that said, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.